there was no rust whatsoever. Tom Aspinall came from that knee injury and he looked incredible, blasting right through the streaking Marcin Tybura in only 73 seconds. This man's hand speed is so incredible for a heavyweight. If you didn't pay attention close enough, you could miss his punches. That's how fast this guy is. And he's 6'5", every bit of 250. The performance was magnificent. Now, there were some mistakes, of course, just like we always know about Tom Aspinall. He does raise his chin up a lot, and he got caught this time for it. Tybura's not a powerful guy, so he didn't hurt Aspinall when he touched him, but that's a scary thing if Aspinall fights, maybe Sergey Pavlovich or someone else who could deliver with a lot of power. Whenever Aspinall is throwing his punches or his elbows, he raises his chin so high. It's a bit scary, but it does seem to be like his main weakness. He doesn't have many of them. That is certainly the glaring hole of his game. But it didn't really matter in this fight with Marcin Tybura because the guy makes it up with some insane speed. Not only hand speed, but his footwork as well. We saw him bouncing around, moving away from Tybura. The guy did not look like a heavyweight out there. Outside of his body structure, the guy was not fighting like a heavyweight at all. And then put down the 1-2 on Tybura to knock him down. And not only knock him down, I actually think he put Tybura out for a second, shown by the way that Tybura fell from the right straight. He slouched forward, hands dropped, he's looking straight at the ground. The guy looked like he was completely out, and it's quite strange because not when he hit the ground, but before he hit the ground, it looked like Tybura woke up. He was falling completely out, and right before he touched the ground, he posts with his elbow, looking like he woke up. So it was a flash knockout, which Tybura woke up very quickly from. But that's the kind of surprising element that Aspinall has because his punches are so fast. Aspinall hits very hard, and I think a big factor to his knockout power is the speed that he's able to put down his punches because his opponents are not able to see it. And it was evident that Marcin Tybura did not see the 1-2 at all. Both Tom Aspinall's jab, from this position right here, his hands are all the way down at his waist. Both his jab and his right straight were about the same speed. Do you know how scary that is for a heavyweight? And to have your power hand moving at that kind of speed as well? Any heavyweight that could punch like that is dangerous. You don't even need to be the most powerful guy. If you can move your hands that quickly, you can hurt anybody in the world. There's so much natural mass coming behind it. And the opponent is not able to see it either. There's always going to be some devastating effects. And looking at the way that Tybura reacted to the punches when the jab came at him, he left that left guard up from Aspinall throwing the elbow earlier just to block that. But look what he does with his right hand, which he should be trying to parry the jab with. He brings his right hand to his left side. It looks like he thought that Aspinall was going to throw his right straight. And then as soon as it came, Tybura did not react whatsoever to the punch. He didn't move his hand anywhere. He didn't move his head anywhere. Now, the reason why he was able to react at all to the jab and not the right straight is because when Aspinall's throwing the jab, he's also stepping on the outside here. His foot is coming to the outside and he's moving his entire body. Right? That's a lot more noticeable than just shifting your body for the right straight. So he's able to see that giant mass of a human moving at him, but he just didn't see which punch was coming. That's why he reacted at all when the jab came at him. And he didn't react at all when the right straight came at him because there was a lot less of a movement. Now take notice of that defense from Marcin Tybura. Left hand up, blocking like not even the side of his head, it's like the front and side. It's not like a tight guard either. And then he kind of lingers his right arm a bit when the opponent does that because he was mostly looking for a right hand counter. So Tom Aspinall actually fired this before. He threw down the 1-2, but he locked on with his right straight a little bit to his own right, arcing his punch a bit, almost making it a hook. And Tybura showed the exact same defense, but this time he actually did parry the jab, seeing the punch coming. And the right straight gets partially blocked as he threw it around the guard. But look at the opening. There's an opening down the center. He doesn't have to go around, and that's what he noticed. Tom Aspinall made that adjustment not too long after that to target his punch down the center, catching Tybura clean to the chin. And in that finishing sequence, before he dropped Tybura, he came in with a long step for his elbow. He stepped on the inside though to crash his elbow right in with his body, putting his body right behind the elbow, crashing directly into Tybura. That's why he stepped on the inside, so his body could be positioned right into Tybura's head. But notice how he was trying to eliminate that right hand when he stepped in. He tried to take that away from Tybura, countering him like he did before, so he could keep himself in close range right after that. By getting in there with the elbow, he can keep himself in that very close range with Tybura firing out the 1-2, but he did throw the left hook before it, and Tybura was switching stances at the same time backwards, just causing Tybura to be so flustered in that moment. Now, both times when Aspinall went in from a distance and he got caught by a counter was by that same right hand. That's why he looked to eliminate it before this time, making a little bit of adjustment there. In this moment, he throws out the 1-2, blitzing in from a very far distance. He slightly misses his right straight and gets caught by the check right hook. Tybura did not have a lot of power in this, as he was switching stances backwards while throwing the punch. And then here, he rebounded off a big back step to intercept Tybura, who's coming at him. As Tybura's throwing his right hand, he gets his head on the inside of Aspinall's jab. It connects clean, turning Aspinall's head all the way around. That was definitely a big punch from Tybura. Credit to Tom Aspinall's chin for taking that. He didn't look bothered by it at all. Aspinall also has some really good feints. He was moving in and out, kind of similar to what Ciryl Gane does to opponents, where he gets in on them, he feints like he's going to do something because of that speed, and he draws the opponent out for their attack so you could just see what they're working with. Now, the head kick in the beginning of the fight, it actually did not land on Tybura. The funny thing about it is, if Aspinall brought that head kick a few inches higher, this fight could have ended in like 12 seconds. His kick actually lands on the shoulder, does not come up all the way to the head. And Tybura had an opening there. He actually did not see the head kick coming that well. The guard was not all the way there, and you saw the power that Aspinall was able to deliver with it, even though he didn't connect to the head. Hitting him to the shoulder knocked Tybura to the side. The whole kick moved Tybura. Imagine that kind of power actually wrapping around the head. There is no way Tybura would have survived that kick. And that's ultimately the end of the breakdown, guys. Tom Aspinall looked amazing out there. I expect him to be a little bit rusty, you know? That kind of injury is very hard to come back from. And he looked better than ever. He did change training camps. The fact that he thought about changing his training already shows that mentally during that time, he was still preparing. He was still thinking about the game. He was still thinking about ways to get better during the meantime. And now he's calling out the winner of Ciryl Gane versus Sergey Spivak, which I love. I mean, Ciryl Gane versus Tom Aspinall is a great fight. I think Aspinall might beat him though because of the grappling. In the striking, I would favor Ciryl Gane, who is the only other heavyweight that can match Aspinall's speed. But on the ground, Gane probably doesn't have anything for Aspinall. The way that he's performing like this, you would forget that he's a grappler. That is actually probably something he does better than his boxing, as crazy as that is. Then he wants to fight John Jones afterward. I don't know if he beats Jones. It's hard to see anybody in this division beat John Jones. So I'm waiting to see what he could do against the winner of Ciryl Gane and Sergey Spivak. But I would have to say that it's inevitable that Tom Aspinall at least fights for a belt one day. His main competition, in my opinion, is Sergey Pavlovich. I think Tom Aspinall, Sergey Pavlovich, and Ciryl Gane are going to be at the top of this weight class for a very long time, up until we see what Jailton Almeida can do. He might enter the fray as the fourth. I would have to say with all these guys now, the heavyweight division is as good as it's ever been. At least for me, I love the heavyweights that we have right now. They're more technical than ever before too. John Jones at the top, Stipe's still there, and now you got younger guys like Aspinall, Gane, Pavlovich, Almeida, even Blades, you know, a lot of great heavyweights right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown, and if you did, make sure to give this a thumbs up. If you enjoyed my content, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.